I want to clarify the Old Bay comment. All right,
because that's like sacred.
It is.
That's like angel dust where you come from.
Yeah.
Shrimp, crabs, okay. But these bozos up here in Philly, they put it on fucking everything.
Okay.
No,
French fries.
crab fries are big where we call. I love them.
You can't.
Do you love them?
Unimpeachable crab fries. Are you out of your mind?
Really?
It's a fucking perfect. It's
thank you.
What do you
a little bit of cheese on the side.
Fuck around with it a little. Yeah, absolutely. If you can recreate like a cream of crab soup flip.
This guy knows. All right, I'm on Team Stavros.
You know,
now.
a little cream, a little cheese, a little Old Bay. Get that. Look, because listen,
it's like a chowder. It's like a soup.
We want to liven up our fries. How many? Listen,
let the fries live.
Who are we kidding? We both shop at the same store, Foley.
Sure.
I've seen that shirt on the DXL rack. All right. Don't come at me pretending you don't want different variations of fries.
Thank you.
It's not like
honest,
it's not a fucking. It's not a zero-sum game.
There's no need to bring DXL into this. They're good people, Stabby.
Hey, I love them.
Don't hurt them over there.
Listen, I'm back in, unfortunately. 9 months in a row of touring, I had to dip my toes back into
so
DXL.
hard.
Hey, Stabby, you're
so
back.
Hard.
Grab a sandwich. I'm eating the dressing room.
Tony, Stabby's here.
My mom's English is a lot better than my dad's. My dad's is like, you couldn't even have a conversation with my father still. He's been in the country 40 years. And
procrastinating.
He's procrastinating.
I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna learn it.
He's speaking at a, I would say 7th grade level right now. He's like it's like talking to a surly middle schooler. Like that's,
you little punk ass bitch.
Yeah. Now look, you want to talk about lumber? You want to talk about cabinets? He can talk that. That's the only shit he can talk about. So we're filling out FAFSA, and it's like, and they ask you like, what's your net worth? That's one of the questions. And my mom says 0. And I'm like, no, mom, I'm like, she doesn't fucking immigrant, doesn't fucking know, been in the country, doesn't know what net worth means. And I'm like, no, it means how much money we totally have. And she's like, I know, it's 0. I was like, what? We have no money. Like, I didn't think we had a lot, but we have 0 money. That's, how the fuck am I even alive? I was like, and it's like, it's a testament to her that I'm 18, and it never dawned on me that my parents are just massively in debt.
My dad had a choice. New York, he was 17, New York City or Buffalo, and this is in the 70s.
Yeah.
And he saw like movies and was like, I'm not going to fucking New York.
He was like, let me guess, he had a real Greek perspective on it. He was like, I've seen the movies about Harlem, if you catch my drift.
He was like, definitely. He was a little bit like, I want to avoid
the inner city blacks.
So dumb, it was so quiet.
Greek racial sensitivity is not. It's certainly in the 70s was not
exactly
not where it needed to
my
be.
My father, I thought, was racist my whole life, and then he married a black woman.
Wow, interesting.
Like recently.
That doesn't mean he's not racist.
That's a good point.
I think there's Thomas Jefferson. I think we go all the way back. Strom Thurmond literally had a secret black wife while he was like, we can't have blacks in schools. So I don't think that necessarily takes your Greek-ass father off the hook. Roland Park is where I went, right? Mm-hmm. That's a half hour from my fucking house. So my mom drives me there, drives to work. Like, that's an hour of her day. Takes me, my brothers couldn't get into that one. They weren't cutting the intellectual mustard. And so they had to go to, it's still a pretty good one, Southeast, but close to our house. So she's just bouncing
around.
That's where
my cousins was, Southeast. That's exactly where they went.
That school's hilarious. My brother, his first day of 6th grade, right? He's like a nervous little, you're still like a fat little 5th grader who's like scared. You're like, oh, what's middle school gonna be like? First day, he goes to the bathroom. This kid who had probably failed like 4 times in a row. He's like 16 years old, an 8th grader who's like got stubble.
Who's driving.
Yeah, he sees my brother. He's like, hey, yo, let me get your pants. That's his first day in middle school, and my brother just fucking sprints back to homeroom, right? The whole fucking.
So you're not doing the Bitcoin, the NFTs, all that stuff.
All that is bullshit.
Okay.
If you're a fucking dumb bitch if you have any of that, and I want to be very clear about that.
You hear that, Ma?
Yeah. Like gambling, it's like it's never gonna get like that for me. The way like drugs, even it's like I like drugs, but I could quit anything cool. I could quit like fucking booze is so easy. Like, weed is a lot harder for me. It's weed, food, and trying to get my little dick sucked. Those are the 3 things that I'm just
in that
like,
order.
No, I think it would go food, pussy, weed, and
Food, pussy, weed.
Food is the destroyer for me, dude.
Food
It's
is way
like-
bigger than pussy for
It's
you.
absolutely.
But food and pussy together, has that been a thing?
Love nothing better than getting fucking sucked off. The Uber, she's in the Uber. There's a fucking half a cheesesteak waiting for me, brother. And I got a fucking ice cream cone in the fridge that got special, you know?
That's all you're really thinking about.
It's like the moment I bust, that's all I'm thinking about.
Cheesesteak.
It's like the second the evil, the poison is out of my body, I'm thinking, let's put a different kind of poison in.
One goes out, one goes in.
Hassan actually told me is that, which is fucking hysterical, is that Turks still to this day, you can get out of military service, but you have to prove you're gay. and by the way, they don't count the guy who fucks
as gay.
Tops as gay. They're like real old world with it. And you like, I was reading this article. It's so fucking funny. They were asking the guy because he had like a beard, and they were like, do you ever wear women's clothing? They were like these motherfuckers do not understand what being gay is. And they wanted him to send a picture of him wearing makeup and women's clothing.
That's all it is.
And he was like, that's not what being gay is. He was like, will you let me send a picture of me kissing a man? And they were like, we'll accept that. And there's like a doctor who has to look at the pictures and decide if you're gay enough not to be in the military.
No tongue. There's no tongue. Fucking straight as hell.
It's so fucking sick. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Fuck, we were talking about like the most homophobic cultures, how they're kind of the gayest. And
They're
I'm sure
absolutely the gayest.
There's like a bit about this somewhere.
Because the idea of fucking a man is so outrageous
that you could hold hands
can
walking down the
hold
street,
hands,
like you could
cuddle.
kiss, you could do whatever.
Yeah.
Because of course none of you guys are gay.
Yeah.
Cuddle? Yo, literally.
I'm not joking.
In a lot of cultures, like there's so much more male affection because those cultures don't have a lot of male to female affection.
Yeah.
So they're looking for the touch. They just want people to be more tactile.
And by the way, we're saying like, oh, it's so foreign to them. They're also like 100% molesting boys. Like,
That's another good point that he brought up.
They are,
That's another good point.
That is
the Greek guy would know.
Yeah. Hey, that's in the past. Separate the artist from the art.
Have you done that bit?
Yeah, I'm working on a bit where it's like
fucking funny.
Where it's like, well, listen, if I can't listen to R. Kelly, then you can't do geometry. because
Michelangelo, Bernini, like Bernini's Italian, right? But all these guys had
Pythagoras, all these motherfuckers. Like you would teach a kid math and then suck him off.
Don't do that fucking thing where you pronounce it right.
I'm sorry.
Do you know
Pythagoras?
Like you motherfucker. Did you just do the marinara?
I didn't mean to. I try not to. I say gyro. I don't go gyro.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I try.
Okay.
It was just so in my head.
But that's a great fucking bit. We use not only the math, but we appreciate the art of all these dudes that were like banging
100% fucking kids. Where do we draw the line?
You could use Pythagoras' theorem to draw that line. You could use it.
Yeah. He actually, the angles were little boys' assholes.
It's acute.
You're going to be obtuse when I'm done with you.
Chris Rock and Will Smith, the comedians that were posting about it, it's like, you have nothing in common with Chris Rock. You are only the way like some guy says he's a podcaster, some guy off the street has like 30 followers, says the way you and that guy have something in common with podcasting, that's the way most people posting about Chris Rock had, you know what I mean? Like they're only stand-ups in name only. Right. This is a fucking two of the most famous guys of all time slapped each other. It was hilarious. Right. It was really fucking funny that somebody got slapped at the Oscars. Yeah. Some guy who's been publicly who's the most beloved man in the world was cucked so hard his brain melted 30 minutes before he was going to win his Oscar. Like it was incredible timing. Will Smith has been the most like Scientologist, manicured, like public persona. Jada got so much dick on the side that it fucking melted his brain, and he slapped Chris Rock. I mean, he was just gonna win his Oscar. It was. If that's not fucking funny to you, then that's hysterical.
It's a very funny situation.
Hysterical.
But now people are like, we're great truth tellers out there, and like, it could be me next.
Exactly. Oh, really? It's you next at fucking Magooby's Joke House, which is my home club. I love it. In Timonium, Maryland, no one is slapping you because you're like, what the? My wife doesn't suck my dick enough. It's like no one is about to slap you, you fucking loser. I hated that shit. Vice documentary about like, I think it was Colombia, like a whole village. They had straight up a culture of fucking donkeys. Like
No
little
shit.
boys, like that's how they reach sexual maturity.
That's how they show
fuck
them. They're like,
donkeys.
you got to practice on this donkey
Literally, yeah.
so that you can make a woman come.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't
No, I
even
don't-
try on a woman until you make this donkey come.
I don't think they're interested in women coming. I think if you're in the guy, I think if you haven't made it past bestiality, a woman's orgasm is not really at the top of your list.